All right, we're back with video 3. I was showing how spicery, cinnamon, myrrh, and all these things are psychoactive. Hold on, let me. You know, typically nutmeg is psychoactive. Typically, one must consume about 30 grams of nutmeg powder, or roughly the contents of an entire container of the product you could purchase at your local grocery store to experience its psychoactive effects. Therefore, a single slice of pumpkin pie or a glass of eggnog are unlikely to produce any noticeable effects upon the psyche. Reactions vary considerably from nothing at all to euphoria at low doses, to marijuana and LSD-like experiences at higher doses with hallucinations that can last up to 48 hours. Chronic use of high doses of nutmeg can produce a reaction similar to psychosis. One other unpleasant side effect of nutmeg is extreme diarrhea caused by the stimulation of sensitive neurons within the intestines. So, hey man, so how come Yah is prescribing psychoactive herbs and spices in the temple? Why is Yah prescribing that for the temple? But demonic ass GMS is telling you that this is wrong. Why? Why are they doing that? Why are they telling you, but you can drink though, which dulls your senses? Why? That's wicked. Okay, I forgot what Little Luck said. But he was like, "Isn't it evil to live backwards? Evil live. Evil is live backwards. These niggas want you to be drunk and stupid. So what is that besides fucking Freemasonry and white manism? Oh, hold on. All right, this is a good one. Psychoactive substances and religion and magic. Let's go. The idea that drugs played a role in the great religions of antiquity as they do in tribal societies in Africa and South America is still abhorrent to many scholars today. Perhaps they are willing to admit it for ancient Egypt, but for Greece, for Athens, for the Eleusinian mysteries, which is Eleusinian mysteries are your Greek mysteries, which are nothing but your Osiris mysteries and all that shit. For ancient Israel, yet the evidence is strong. Psychoactive substances reach the brains of the believers in many different ways, in food, in drink, in oil rubbed into the skin, in smoke inhaled. We should not underestimate the expertise of the priests in this era. Okay? Now, let's stop. Let's go back here. I already showed you in other videos how spicery, weed, cinnamon, all these things that are like psychoactive are prescribed in the oil that you poured on to anoint. And anoint means to draw out from your brothers, which means the person was enlightened. Spiritually enlightened one. What do we got to say about that? You know what these niggas are going to say? You niggas are psychoactive. Wait a minute, nigga. We're reading the Bible and we're backing it up with history. Let's get it again for these demon-ass niggas. Exodus chapter 30, verse 22. Yah spoke to Moses, said, "Now take for yourself choice spices, myrrh, cinnamon, weed, fragrant cane, quanabasham, and cassia." Let's see if we can get that word for cassia with me. See, did I write that down? Wait, I write that down. Cassia. Oh, my notes. Anyway, cassia. With it you shall anoint the tent of meeting and the ark of the testimonial tablets, and the table and its utensils, the menorah. Hold on. And its utensils, and the incense altar, the elevation offer, and all its utensils, and the laver and its base. You shall sanctify them, and they shall remain holy of holies. Whatever touches them shall become holy. You shall anoint Aaron and his sons, and sanctify them to minister unto me. You shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, "This shall remain for me an oil of sacred anointment in your generations. It shall not be smeared on human flesh, and you shall not duplicate it in its formulation. It is holy. It shall remain holy for you. Anyone who shall compound its like, or who shall put it on an alien, shall be cut off from his people." Yah said to him, "Take for yourself spices, stacte, onika, and galbanum, spices and pure frankincense. These all shall be of equal weight, and you shall make them into a spice compound, the handiwork of a perfumer, thoroughly mixed, pure and holy. You shall grind some of it finally, and place some of it before the testimonial tablets in the tent of meeting, where I designate a time to meet you. The incense, that shall you make it. In proportion, you should not make it for yourself." So Yah saying all these things. Now, he didn't say he said you can't make the same properties or the same measurements for yourself. you make an oil for yourself of anointment, but you can't use the same measurements and whatnot that because Yah set apart. So whatever measurements he uses for the temple, that's for him alone. You have to like alter your measurements. You can use, it didn't say you can't make this. It said you cannot use this for yourself with these measurements. So, but let's get the fact of the matter is what was used in here were the spicery and the herbs. Okay, again, if you know what he's talking about in here, your incense altar, your menorahs, your holy, your Ark of the Tablets and the Ark of the Covenant, your sacrifice altar. He was like, anoint all these and sanctify them. Set them apart. So let's go back to this again. In the ancient days, in the ancient Israel, and all the, and other priests and shamans from other things, they already knew all this, man. This is old priest knowledge. Let me see. Let's see. Manna, styrax, opium, myrrh, which is used in the Bible, frankincense in the Bible, saffron used in the Bible, badella used in the Bible, mixed with spurge and fragrant wine. Manna seems to be a type of boswellia in a powdered form. Styrax or storax, opium is the juice of paprika, whatever. Myrrh we use myrrh, it's in the Bible. It's for the incense and the anointing oil. Myrrh. What is it? Not fig. It's been translated as spurge. It is. Give me a second. I'm trying to get to something. Incidentally, some of these concoctions should be burned as well as consumed or rubbed into the skin. This is characteristic of many ancient aromatic essences prepared with olive oil or wine. Okay, now Yah said that you can't put these on your skin, okay, because these are only for the priest and for the priests and the Levites. But the average layman, you can't do the measurements that Yah prescribed in here for himself and then use it for you to rub it on your skin, or to use it for anything. But you have to use a different measurement system, whether larger or bigger. But it cannot be this. It cannot be what Yah has, the measurements that Yah has ordained. Because first off, this was already, this is just common sense, man. All these were all rubbed into the skin. These are things we use today, what they call aromatherapy. Okay, they use these exact same things. Okay, people use aromatherapy but they don't want to use fucking pills and shit. Okay, so that's just what it is. Frankincense, laurel, myrtle, fruit pit, stavesacre, cinnamon leaf, costus. This is pounded and blended with magnesium wine and honey and made into pills. Frankincense is again a type of boswellia. Laurel will be. Hold on, let's get to the cinnamon leaf, also known as malabathrum, is Cinnamonium tamala. It seems as okay. Water, myrrh, calf snout, plant, laurel breech. Separately seems a fumigation of myrrh, frankincense, frog's tongue was required. Frogs had secreted some kind of gland, some kind of like hallucinogenic gland in their tongue or some shit. I'm sure you heard about that. But you see, frankincense and frankincense and cinnamon are psychoactive. These essences are thought to please various deities. They are psychoactive and they can affect the practitioner or the client, or both, establishing the presence of a deity. Now, so I guess GMS thinks that Yah is practicing witchcraft, or telling us to practice witchcraft. They're using weed in here. They're using cinnamon. They're using myrrh, badella, and some other stuff in here they're using in here. I mean, we don't know what stacte, onycha, and galbanum are. We can look them up. I can do another video on that. But apparently, Israel wasn't the only one who were using this. Apparently, using spicery and herbs and things was always used by shamans and priests and wise men. And that's all. This is why it's prescribed for the Levites. They were the shamans. The word eight signifies shaman. It's the same word as shaman, like a priest. 8 also signifies anointing. It means abundance. Like 7 means complete, and 8 means like surplus, abundant. Richness. That's why I said, offer me the fat and the oil, which means a richness, abundance. 8 is the number of anointment or Messiah. King David, they said it was the 8th son of the 7. One could have died, but he became the 7th too. But these numbers are significant. 8 is at the number of anointing, abundance, oil, fat. Wise man, shaman. Okay, so the priests were the wise men, the shamans. They're the ones who gave the law and the Torah. So GMS and these other camps are not shaman. They're not wise men. When they read a law like don't eat pork, they'll just say, oh, because God said don't eat pork. Well, they don't understand. They've never been in here in a holy place. They don't understand what it means to be like separate and to elevate. They can't expound on this. They're not wise men. You know, my name is Judah, you know, my Hebrew name, but you know, I may well be a Levite. All the men in my family were all like preachers and pastors, and you know, like the ministering gene is in us. Wait, what the hell's going on? Let me go back. Yeah, the ministering gene is just in us, and I honestly think that I'm like, you know, not even just other brothers in my family too who are also they're into Christianity and stuff or whatever, but we're all like ministers. We're all Bible oriented people. Okay, so you know, I might have been, you know, I might be a Levite because I sure as hell understand all of this. You know. Anyway, so the cannabis, the cinnamon, all these things are all you know, all these spiceries are all used, quote unquote, in GMS versions of witchcraft. But we have these all in the Bible. So I guess GMS is saying that the Most High is promoting witchcraft in the Torah. But this is what happens when you're a demon and you promote being drunk and your spiritual senses being dull and you worship Rod Stewart. You can't expect these niggas to say nothing smart. All right, let's move on. Hold on. Temple Man. All right. All right, so I guess that's it. I want to hear this buffoon. Some more of his bullshit.
Okay. Oh, let me get this. Actually, let me get this first. Stupid dumb niggas, man.
No, we're stupid and dumb.
Tobacco. You ain't supposed.
No, you're not supposed to smoke tobacco. We're stupid and dumb, even though we just bring out the scriptures in the temple and we show Israel, we edify, and all this dumb nigga does is say, smoking weed is bad. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, what if we eat it then, motherfucker? We're still going to get the same result. And what if we drink it? Or what if we rub it in our skin? It's still consuming the herb, and that's these niggas' problem. They don't want you to consume the herb. They want you to be fucking stupid and have your spiritual senses dulled.
to smoke nothing, man. That says marijuana smoke contains higher levels of certain toxins than tobacco smoke. All right, and this is
really well. How come this guy won't show the annual deaths of marijuana then every year? The deaths associated with marijuana use, as opposed to tobacco use. Show me a guy that smokes weed and is walking around with a goddamn air tank because his lungs are all hemmed up from smoking weed. You've never seen that before because it doesn't happen. Show me a dude that has a hole in his throat from smoking weed who has to push a button to talk because he smoked weed alone. It doesn't happen. So again, these GMS attracts niggas who are not fucking smart. It's like Satan just calls all these niggas together and be like, here, a whole bunch of dumb niggas in one big group.
From the Science Daily, man. From the American Chemical Society. Right? It says here's an
really. I just brought up some studies on here. It doesn't have any of that. You know. The nigga said, we'll go back to what the nigga just said, but you know, mine is the Scientific Research Society, American Scientist. What was the other one? The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention. The British Columbia Mental Health and Addictions Journal. Wait, watch what this nigga just said.
Marijuana smoke contains significantly higher levels of several toxic compounds. You know what the word toxic means? You dumb weed smoking nigga. Look that up. Talking about you.
Well, didn't we just read in another thing that weed has very low levels of toxin? So, what's going on here?
No Hebrew. Why don't you look up the word toxic, you dummy? Including ammonia and hydrogen cyanide than tobacco smoke and may therefore pose similar health risks. Okay?
See, GMS likes to use what they call guesswork. If these niggas were so sure about it, they'd pull up annual deaths of marijuana use alone. There'd be no question. They'd be like, see, look, dumb nigga. These guys die from cancer from smoking weed. Not cigarettes, not drinking, but from smoking weed. Okay? They die from cancer, from toxins. But they'll never do that because they can't. Because in all the years that y'all made this herb, no one ever died from it. But that's why, you know, these stupid niggas don't know nothing about this. Okay? They can't come. Carnal niggas have to stay down here. Okay? Where gravity pulls these niggas down, earthbound. This is why these niggas can't rise up and come in here. They like carnal shit. You know, a sober mind is a carnal mind. For you, you know, let's just go back to this again. I'm going to reiterate this again. The carnal mind is a 4-square mind. Okay? So go check a carnal-minded person and then ask him to break down certain things in the Bible. And when he reads it, it's always going to be a carnal way of writing it down. Like such as, let me give you an example. Okay? Let's just say, this here is the example. You'll be like, what is this? And they'll say, this is the temple of God. Well, what is it? Oh, this is where the priest, came in and, ministered to Israel, whatever. Okay, but like, what is it? Oh, well, the human body is the temple of God. Okay, but like, what is this stuff in here? Or it's just like the furniture. That's called a carnal explanation as to what this is. Now, Levites, wise men, the priest, they were like, well, the menorah is significant of the 7 planets in our solar universe. Also, the 7 angels. When you put the menorah together and you join all the arms of it, it turns into one big angel with wings. Okay, and the 10 tables here in the holy place signify the 70 Gentile nations with lights on them, and Israel is the light, and they're going to enlighten all the Gentiles. And the incense altar here is King David's throne and the human heart, and the smoke here that rises in the Holy of Holies. The Ark of the Covenant staves signify the Most High's nose. And this also signifies, since King David and the kings rule in Israel, they in effect are to govern Israel's conduct. Okay? So the smoke here rising is Israel's conduct. And, if it's a pleasing aroma, then that's what it is. This is what it means. The Ark of the Covenant is really the heavenly court. The angel Michael sits on top of this Ark of the Covenant. The top of the Ark of the Covenant is called the mercy seat, and it's made of gold. And it's where, where the repentant sinner comes in. The angels inside the Ark of the Covenant rejoice. The 2 tablets of the stone represent the right and left brain of the mind. Moses' staff that's inside the Ark of the Covenant represents Israel's spine, or the man's spinal cord. Okay? So you have your 2 sides of the brain, the 2 tablets of the law, and Moses' staff, which is the spinal cord. The wise man can go in here and expound on this. Have you ever heard GMS or any One West camp ever expound on any of this? Ever? Can I tell you what the when it says the menorah and all its instruments, the word is kali. Did they ever explain what these words mean or what they stand for? What they stand for, spiritual qualities. Is what the instruments or the vessels and things of each of the altar. There'll be like a laver, a cup, a shovel, all these things. The same thing for all of these. There's cups and tables and spoons and whatever, shovels and all these for these various things. These are all spiritual principles within the man, within the self. So when the man knows all these things in here, he gets knowledge of the self. But don't expect fucking GMS to fucking tell you that, or anyone West Camp. It's going to teach you a bunch of bullshit and be like, Christ. Well, damn, man. What about us, man? Y'all said that we're the Son of God. When are you niggas going to tell us about ourselves? Why are you niggas always talking about Christ? Who is Rod Stewart, a penis savior? Why did y'all even go through all the trouble to establish the Levitical priesthood in the temple if he was just going to do away with it and tell you just to worship Christ? So they don't want you to know they want you to have knowledge of self, man. They want you to be fucking stupid. It's just what it is, man. What is why does the priest wear a golden thing over his head? What does that stand for? What is that? Why do you pour oil on top of the high priest and the king's heads? What does this oil stand for? What is it for? It stands for enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment. This is why King David was doing things that Levites did. He was like a priest king. So, but how come these niggas don't tell you this stuff, man? I have brothers on my comment board who are like, man, Judah, man, this is stuff I've been looking for. Let me explain something to you for a second. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. A little sleepy. Let me explain something to you. Israel is looking for metaphysics, man. They're looking for that spiritual bread. Okay, they're tired of the outward, Christ. They want to know, first off, even studying Nation of Islam and all that shit, you know, they don't even give you knowledge of self, but they know, you know, Israel knows that, you know, they can tell the difference between that kind of shit and 5% and shit, whatever, and as opposed to like a Christian Negro's concept of spirituality. Okay, now the Negro knows that like there is something more to the Bible than this outward, you know, you got to worship Christ and this outward bullshit. They know that there's something more to the Bible than what they're given. And this is why brothers drop out of the Bible thing, because you're not telling them about themselves. They don't understand. You're not giving them spiritual bread, man. So the Nation of Islam and all, and 5% Nation and all that, they like somewhat understood a little of this, but they didn't get it all because they weren't following the laws. They just understood that like symbolism. They understood symbolism, and you know, they expounded on it, giving their own Masonic interpretations of it, which is all falsehood. Most of it, anyways. But Israel, you know, so this is why, you know, these GMS niggas watch my videos. They don't say, "Oh, you know, that's interesting" or whatever. They don't even go into this anymore. These niggas, since they're not allowed in here, y'all won't allow them to come into the holy place. They're like, I'm just gonna keep preaching Christ and this carnal shit and carnal doctrines that they can't support with the Bible. You know, and if you ask these dumb niggas why weed and cinnamon and all these things are these spices and shit are psychoactive, why did y'all tell us to do this or use this in the temple? If it's bad for us, why does God say one thing and you niggas say something else? You know what they're gonna say? Oh, nigga, you're the devil. Blah, 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 blah. Well, who the fuck is that besides Satan? What difference is between that nigga and an Episcopalian, Lutheran, Methodist, Baptist preacher? The nigga's gonna tell you to keep worshiping Christ. Just the whole outward. You know, outward. You know what? Give me 1 second, man. There was one brother I was talking to, and he was like, and I was trying to explain to him the word offering. I gotta show you this. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. See this here? The Israelite put his animal there on the sacrifice system. Okay, it's just like a form of like prayer, but it's also within. It's like a you know, knowledge of self. It's like putting a clean animal like a sheep on here and like, you know, excuse me, burning it. Its smoke rises up, and you basically are taking on the clean sheep's qualities. Its wool, you know, its qualities, which is meekness, humbleness, purity, covering your shame, which is what wool is, you know, used for, wisdom, and its qualities. Or it's like, or it's in another sense, it's also putting another animal on here and burning away the negative aspects of the animal's qualities, such as like a goat or a ram, you know, which is like stubbornness, dick worship, which is this Christ worship, worshiping Egyptian deities. You know, this is what all this is for. It's for the self inside, and for the outside is for the negative things for outside. This is basically what it is. So when you offer your sacrifice, the word is quarab. Let me show you what quarab means. Okay, Judenaz ain't trying to steer you guys wrong, man. Okay, it requires study, man. You know, and these guys say, you know, they spend so much time. You know, these guys be studying like the so-called New Testament. They haven't even mastered the so-called Old Testament yet to be going to another book. But Yah never gave another book. The Torah stands. Let's see how much time I got. Hold on. We're at 23 minutes. All right, hold on. Quarab, to approach, to bring near, for whatever purpose, to offer, to come near. To bring, to come, to draw, near, come, approach, at hand, join, produce, make ready, stand, take, draw near. This word stresses to approach or draw near and is often used of man's existence into the presence of the living God. So, remember I told you what you do with the animal here. You're trying to like go up, draw near to the Most High Yah. When Adam fell, Adam's falling was him falling down into earth level, carnal level. And this is like the carnal earthly mind. This is like your average person just walking about in America or whatever. They have like Egyptian minds, just a carnal mind. Like in order to like elevate that, you have to like study Torah, you know, like, and then like you have to understand the symbolism and meaning, and things that help this are herbs and spices. It breaks, you break through and you rise higher than, you know, you get out of Egyptian mind and you begin to like, if you study, your mind will like start, you know, your atoms and things will be spinning off fast and things, you know, like, it's just what it is. And symbolism also helps with this. But let's get back to the word. So it means drawing near in the presence of God, a nearness or closest of an intimate kind. In general, korab signifies approach or coming near someone or something apart from any sense of intimacy. To offer, come near, approach. Hold on. Usually the word represents being so close to something or someone that the subject can see, speak to, or even touch the object of a person in question. This verb also uses temporal nearness in the sense that something is about to occur. Korab can be used in the imminence of joyous occasions such as religious feasts. Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, the seventh year, the year of release, is at hand. The word is also used of the imminence of foreboding events. Esau said in his heart, the day of mourning for my father are at hand. Literally, my father will soon die. Korab is also used in number for technical senses. In all these, in all these instances, personal involvement is suggested. I'm trying to get to the word for within too. Korab is also technically having sexual relations. Israel is the wife. Hold on. To come near. Korab, come near, offer, come, bring near. Hostile encounter, battle. Korab also means war, battle. So you're battling against the lower self. You're trying to rise higher. Think about it. Egypt's Pharaoh and things was, say like this is yourself, right? And you were in this mind state. Pharaoh represents the rebellious side of yourself, and his troops were like negative forces in the self that you had to fight against. It says when Israel came out of Egypt, they were armed, and the word for armed, they use the word five. I think the word is kamash, but kamash also means like armed. So they were armed to fight. The word bread that you put on these tables is lakham. Malakama also means to battle, to fight. So it's like the same instance of the word jihad for Muslims. You're fighting a spiritual war of the self within, and you're fighting outside external forces. Shit. Right now we're fighting against GMS and their negative carnal sense. We're fighting against them spiritually, bringing out wisdom so our brothers can understand. Hand-to-hand combat, war. Korab, number 7130. The nearest, the center, within, the nearness. Wait, hold on. Among, Israel, among Israel. In the midst, which, in the midst, this is the temple, you're in the midst, in the temple. Within, which means within the temple. Inwards, inside the temple, inside here, not out here with these niggas, but inside here with your your Israelites who study the temple, knowledge of self. Before, bowels, just means inside, innards, inner things. Unto, charge, to eat, the heart, him, pertinence therein. Korban, which means like a gift, to give a gift. So you placed your gift here to the Most High Yah, and you burned it, and and smoke rose up, and Yah smells the smoke of your act. So basically, sacrifices basically stands for man's approach to the Most High, whether it be through prayer or through works. So King David said, "Let my prayer be like a substitute for Yah." Moses only gave the sacrifice system to symbolize man's prayer and approach to the Most High Yah. That's why it's just symbolical. All the animals, all this, your circumcision, your animals with split hooves, all these things. These are all symbolic of the temple, man. Everything, the whole Torah is based on the temple man. You're not going to get that from GMS, from One West, man. You're just not going to get it, man. They don't have knowledge of self, man. They're teaching you fucking Christianity. Yahweh is teaching, enter the kingdom of heaven. Enter in here. King John the Baptist was teaching you baptism. They were all doing ritual. And James was officiating in the Holy of Holies. All three of these guys were all Levites doing a different station here, but they were all really against this because the Pharisees and Sadducees and the Herodians and all these guys were here in Rome. They're telling you to elevate. So that's what it is, man. I'm about to close out. I hope you guys learn something from this. And every time GMS comes with some bullshit, expect Judah Nazarah and other brothers to come against them and keep dropping that wisdom. And we're going to keep using the temple and the scriptures, man, to use it for that. So, again, if you guys want to blaze up, hey, the Bible has it in here. You know, you either listen to Esau and the Jesuit Israelite camps, or you're gonna follow the Most High. I didn't say get all baked out and fucking you know, unfunctional. So, but yeah, man, you know, all things in moderation and in balance, man. Study the Torah, get knowledge of self, and follow the laws and commandments, and shun Rod Stewart. All right, shalom.